Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case. Once again, we're focusing on in with a few fireworks, no pun intended there, because we need to take a look at the comment section of what went down last night. Not so much the live chat, but the actual comments themselves, the afterthoughts, to let it all sink in and make sense of what's gone down. I did an extremely raw, uncut for most part of it to my memory. I think it mostly uncut, roughly, to do with the phone data, the importance behind it, the questions behind it, and beyond, in which ways people wouldn't probably think of normally. So when I did it, it gathered a certain attention from a range of different people coming together. Some showed up quick, others appeared late. Bit of, traction, a bit of conflict along the way. It is what it is. It's fine. It's not always like that. But I want to look at the comment section first today to start this video off, to see where it will lead to, if there's a particular theme, and if there is one, you'll tell by the title of the video, okay? It is a discussion-based one, but I just want to weigh in on it, because whilst there is conflict, whilst there's a level of instability and the uncertainty, the unknown as where do things lie right now, with the case, with people and their mindsets. When it's uncertain and unstable, it can be quite worrying. It can be very confusing. It can be a bit problematic and cause self-issues and external, how you may act and react and how you apply it towards others down the line. So if you can bridge the gap to get a little bit more perspective, to close the distance and maintain a level of control, there's no harm in doing that. And that's what I want to do today. And if there is any appliance where I can look at it from a different angle or apply it to something else on screen, through Google Earth, whatnot, then that's what I'll do. So welcome to anyone that's currently watching this live premiere. Share your thoughts and opinions in the live chat box on the right-hand side of the screen. And if at any point you want to leave your additional comments or questions, feel free to leave it down below under this video, because we can always respond back. And, you know, I've not been responding back as much because it's been busy in recent time and doing other stuff. So if I can respond back in a video itself, it could be more beneficial towards people themselves. You'll find a pinned comment down below where the links are if you want to support this channel. And top right corner of the screen up there, if you want to catch up on my recent videos and the very deep one last night, that's where the full playlist will be up there. Big shout out to those that have supported the channel in recent time. And of course, those individuals that have supported the channel in the background too. You know who you are. Okay, that's all good. Without further ado, let's just transition on to YouTube, the last video that I did. Here we are. What I do want to say is, whilst adjusting it to the latest comments, not all will show up on screen at the time of when you watch this video. And that's because it's been recorded earlier on. It won't take into account the comments that follow after the video. Hopefully you understand. We start from the bottom. There's a couple of comments along the way. There's some new faces too that show up, which is good to see. There may be default profiles, but, you know, people sharing their thoughts, that's all good. Others out there may assume, there must be fake accounts or impersonation ones, somehow someone else. Who knows at this point? But we don't need to focus too much there for now. Let's just see what someone like Larry has to say. So welcome to the channel, Larry. There's so much being kept on the hush-hush. In certain ways, you could argue that, yeah, whether that be with those involved, those that know, or the police, whether that be for dodgy reasons or not, legal procedures, there will always be details in these cases which we don't know of, and it could be very valuable. It could provide a lot more context or a different new perspective and understanding, but we just don't have access to it at this moment. And fast forward on maybe some months, years, unfortunately, then you might find out. Is it too late then? Well, it can come down to people's patience, right? Because not everybody wants to stick around and wait it out. Others may want to move on and look at other things in between. Well, as for me, I just stick around and do what I can for as long as I can, really. As long as there's something to cover. There's no harm there. We got John. I think they had 40 party goers. 3 days coming and going. So you mean there was a total of 40 over the course of those days. different people coming and going. For every new person that arrived, that counts as one. If they returned back, it doesn't count as another person, right? So 40 in total. I mean, yeah, because like when we've seen the party footage, can anyone honestly say that you've seen 40 people in any of the video clips? No. You might see familiar faces. 1 minute it could be outside, then it could be inside, or the other way around. But you don't see 40 people at any point. So that's a bit concerning in a way. But it all comes to language and wording, whether that be by Caden Pressey, whether it by maybe Justin Roy and some others. 40 people and people coming and going. Is that within the same sentence line, or is there a bit of play with words? Could it be changed as in there was a total of 40 people at the party, but not on any given day? Though if there was, it wasn't all at one time. You know, like when you get peak viewers or concurrent viewers, what's the average? The peak will be the highest recorded number during a live stream or a live premiere. The concurrent viewer count is what you get on the regular average. So like right now, there could be maybe 20, 19 people watching right now on average. And then a bit later on into this video, it could creep up to about 29, 34 people watching. And that might only last for a couple of seconds. But once the video is done or the live stream has ended, it will say peak number 34, concurrent rate 21. You know, along the lines of that. That can apply to the party itself in real time, in real life. Was there a peak number of 40 people all at the house? Or was it a total of 40 people that come and gone on that one particular day, such as Sunday, as it's been referenced? Language and wording in this case goes such a long way, but how it's been applied has caused a lot of confusion. Yes, we can say, yeah, but what about the partygoers and the family of the family, the stubbornness and the changing of stories? Yeah, but surely at least one side can be the better man or the better woman or the better person overall, as in not lowering yourself to their standards then. But I think more so it's subconsciously and it's not done on purpose where it comes to people exaggerating language or underestimating things. One simple word change, a comma, quotation, a bullet point, it goes so far. It really does. And because people don't go that deep, there's a lot of gaps and issues. But because I am willing to go deep at times, or at least try to, I might pick up on more and I might arrange it a little bit better. Not guaranteed, but it can. So just something so simple mentioned by John, which leads to a deeper conversation. On top, he says, if they live streamed the party, someone might have recorded it or done a screen recording. Is that what you mean? Would people out there be live streaming? It's always possible. Yeah. Can you live stream on Snapchat? Honestly, I don't know. On TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, I believe you can do. Yeah, of course. Well, I don't know about Twitter, but all the others you can definitely live stream. I've done it myself on YouTube. It was like some days ago. Was it Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve where I did a live stream and I broke a record, a total of 60 people watching live in an actual stream. In terms of a live premiere, pre-recorded video, but airing for the first time live, so people watch together, my record there is about 158 people watching, which is crazy. If it ever gets higher, that's going to be good. Does it add pressure to me? Not at this moment in time. Moving on. I mean, anyone, if you want to. I don't know if polls are still popular because I've not done them for a while, but does anyone think that the party on one of the days, given days, could have been live streamed somehow? Let me know. We got John. I say about 12 party goers, Mikey, Brylan, Isaac, Caleb, Or do you mean Colton? I guess Caleb here, because how it's spelt. Caleb would be the father to Jack. Oh, and Colton, and Jasmine, and Carter Logry. I was combining it with Ivory. Sorry, Logan, Avery. Just simply spelt wrong. Ivory, you mean Avery. I understand. Georgia with a J, not a G. Fair enough. Caden. 11. Bumpass. Justin. Well, Justin, from my knowledge, Justin Roy was not at the party. Okay. So, you say about 12. Let me just count myself. Mikey, yep, I agree. Brylan, agree. Isaac, I agree. Jack, I agree. Colton, possibly. Jasmine, I agree. Carter, Logan, I agree. Avery, of course. Georgia, up to a certain point, yes. We're already on 10. Caden, 11, I agree. And maybe Bumpass, 12, possibly. I mean, Caden referred to Travis Monson. It all comes down to that time of when Caden saw Travis Monson, Colton, and a skinny guy returning back to the house. If that was Monday morning, that's quite significant and it adds more to the list. But they were returning to the party to grab beers. What did they do after? Just leave? Would they be counted as party goers present at the party long enough to be counted as relevant? I wonder. Oh no. I don't know which thread it is, but I think there was a lot of back and forth conversation. So let's just see. We've got Renee. Shout out to Renee. She says, there is a phone tower right off the highway, quote, mile by area. Noah was found. Tower in southeast part of Ryan. I have AT&T. I bet Jack does too, as AT&T is in Duncan. His phone worked fine. That ping was not from poor phone service. Bump ass either. As far as Tyler Hardy, he works in Texas. Most Texas area uses Verizon or T-Mobile. Those are a tad tough here. I can't believe he came up with that crap to tell cops. Moreover, I cannot believe the flipping cops, much less listened to that BS and went with it. Sob. Oh, stupid. No, son of a bitch. Am I learning? Is that what it means? I get tired of stupidity and damn ignorance around here or anywhere. It's eating my damn lunch. SMFDH. Shaking my fucking dick off. Oh, sorry, shit. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. You mean shaking my effing head? Oh my goodness, I can't believe that came out of my mouth. Oops. In response, are you okay? I'm concerned about you. Anyway, I truly hope you're all right. Hugs. Justin says, they wanted us to believe the hit and run. It didn't work. Next, they will blame it on just a bad accident gone wrong, which I do not believe. There's foul play in my opinion. I think they all know exactly how Noah died and yet claim to be his friend. Why not just tell the truth? It's been over a year, still covering it up, sadly. That girl. Maybe people aren't aware how cell phone pings work. It will hit the nearest tower with the best signal, no matter what provider you use for your information. Verizon owners majority of towers. Justin, you really need to take a step back, regroup, clear your mind, man. You are way out there with some of the things you say. There's no big ass cover up that includes all professional agencies in Oklahoma. Matter of fact, a group that specializes in exposing cover ups in Oklahoma said there's not enough evidence supporting it for them to even look at. I think what would bring back a level of stability if the police did a few more press conferences or actual press releases. You know, like a little update, because when's the last time did police do that? What, 2023, was it October or something? Treating it as a possible homicide, vehicle based on the highway. Then, I guess, what later ruled out. Not much update since. I'm guessing that Presgrove family have not been updated by police either, unless there's something in the background. George Choden then shows up saying to Justin, your family appears to have been the vast majority of all the party goers over that long weekend. Isn't that convenient how that has not been mentioned over the last 16 months, in my opinion? What George is referring to there is the fact that Justin Roy did say that his family of family attended the party over the course of some of the days at least, and it was about 6 to 10, 6 to 11 of his family present at the party, which is a big positive when you think of it as in witnesses, eyes on the ground and what they could see and the rich information they could relay onto Justin. But like how Justin worded it in the Partisan True Crime interview, there was a lot of different stories switching and changing, even with all the arguments going on with Noah and others and even Jack, and how it got aggressive and how Caden Pressey had to break up the fight or pushing and shoving on the Saturday, even though Caden never admitted that, nor mentioned he had a part in it. So things were a little bit messy. As for, let's say, Sunday night, if Justin Roy's family of family members are all present, because we don't know if they all left at the same time or some left early and then others stayed, that would make the numbers make a bit more sense possibly. But it was like 10 to 15 people at the party. Well, like what we saw with the earlier comment, when you add it up, you're already up to about 10 people. And then maybe creeping over, because I think when I counted it, there was a possibility of nearly close to 20 party goers possibly being there present, maybe close to, or if not all at the same time. Whether that does include Justin Roy's family as well, it kind of goes over the limit for the estimation of who was actually there at the time. So for it to be worded as majority of party goers, what George says there, I kind of understand. But let's just see where this conversation goes before we jump in. Renee, I'm doing fine, just basketball gaming it non-stop. This year I'm tired. Oh yeah, come on Renee Kane. You're going to be joining the MVP playoff, man, in no time. Yeah, man. You're going to be, I don't know what the hell you call it in the NBA, but there we go. Renee trying to do slam dunks. You'll get there. Justin, just tell the truth already and get it over with, because an accident with a staged hit and run cover-up is still foul play. Yeah, several felony charges to follow, but I definitely don't believe that. There's definitely more in my opinion. Just tell the truth finally. Right, okay. So the simple question would be, for the opposition that believe it's a hit and run, do those that believe it's a hit and run feel that there is a level of foul play? You would think there would have to be. If you have maybe accidentally or intentionally hit someone whilst you're in your vehicle and you're aware of what you've done, but you don't take accountability, you may cover it up, or you just leave it be and you drive away, run away without calling anyone, without owning up. Isn't that considered a bit of foul play to an extent? This is what I mean. Ask these questions amongst opposition to see where their thoughts are. Do they have that perspective and understanding? Can there be a level of agreement, or is it just a complete lost cause? You got to break it down bit by bit. Wonder how you know that information to that girl. And the cover-up is the staged hit and run scenario, which is still foul play as well. Should have just told the truth and got help. So I think what Justin is referring to is not so much what I worded it as, but more so a hit and run that never happened, but staging the death in an alternative way to suit that specific narrative, so less questions are asked and there's less of a follow-up so people can protect themselves. Right. But if it was a hit and run, can it still be considered foul play? Yes or no? For that stability, for that consistency, cross parties. George in response, you still haven't answered if you believe Alicia, Lee and Caden's story, and you still haven't answered about your family being the majority of partygoers present in attendance the weekend, how that has escaped being on the radar. I don't even need to add in my opinion, because these are questions everybody's asking, whether or not you've kicked out, banned, blocked, etc. People are asking these questions and you've avoided responding. I can understand Justin Roy being private in regards to not revealing any names of his family of family. Out of respect for privacy, I get that. But if there is a simple question, as in, do you know when some of your family members arrived or left, that could help put things into perspective. Just like the questioning of, when did the Texas boys leave? What set of Texas boys left at what time and beyond? And as well, what about Stephanie Millan and the supposed boyfriend present there? What did they do? When did they go? It's not just exclusive to one set of people or one set of family members, across all boards. Just in response, you know, all my family members there is being covered several times. Really? So supposedly George knows all of Justin's family members. Does that mean because there was conversation in the background? I wouldn't know. It's been covered several times. Well, at least to my knowledge, I don't know who Justin's family members are, their names, their ages, or times of when they arrived or left. That's just being honest. But I've not been around as long as other people. Justin says, did Brooke call you in as backup? Like a little snake you are? Wonder how much it took. Or were you working with them this whole time? The real question is, why did you share Alicia's Dropbox with BBC and that family? That's the real question. Man up and tell the truth. With a trash can and a snake. Joe says, Justin, stick to the facts. You had not mentioned to me or to others that your family had comprised the vast majority of the party attendees over that long weekend. In fact, you specifically omitted someone special. The real question is, why did Alicia share with Shannon Scott and Melissa those files? Is that so? Hoping for a wider distribution again, there is a definite trail, and you and Michael are showing up as having been fully aware, so yeah, man up, Justin. OHP knows, they know everything. Please don't beg. If they know everything, is it good enough? Because it seems to be going anywhere, publicly speaking. But if the police and authorities have enough, does anyone on the inside know an estimation of when things will take place next as for action in any direction? But the mention about Alicia sharing with Shannon Scott and Melissa, I'm guessing Melissa, the mother to Georgia, and as for Shannon Scott, just an individual on one of the Facebook pages who I think might have been an admin or moderator, possibly. I could be wrong. There was another Shannon at some point. Is Shannon Scott the one friends with Alicia online? Could be. It's trying to remember everybody's names. But if that's who it was shared to, okay. Take in mind that when we did look at some text messages in the past where it showed Alicia sharing the link to the Dropbox to someone she trusted or had faith in, no names were mentioned there. So that's why I didn't know who it was. George says, and you still not reply as to whether you still believe Caden's and Alicia's story. Man up. Yes or no? That's all, Justin. No response means you've been caught. Oh boy. Justin says, I have never left out any of my family that was there. Go watch the podcast. I have seen the podcast, and Justin mentions a handful of family members as not in names, not in identity, but numbers, about 10 people or so. Justin says, you're trying to make this into something it's not, always putting the blame somewhere else, like you're told to do so by your boss. It's not going to work, George. In any situation, foul play was committed, and you, as a snake, you are manipulated Alicia into sharing that Dropbox, and like the snake you are, you used it against her. Right. These are like more personal internal conflict amongst one another in this case. You could say, well, it's just a matter of separating it from the case and trying to work things out together or in the background. That's probably not going to happen. This type of conflict, does it cloud judgment? Does it cloud or take over or take away from what's really important? Noah Presgrove and the case at hand there. A bit of a fine line. It kind of runs in parallel, to be honest, because the themes of this conflict is in the name of Noah Presgrove, or trying to find truth or justice. Not everyone quite seeing eye to eye, gears grinding, tension, conflict along the way. There's a handful of factors. It's messy. And if you're caught up within the mess, whether you're a part of the problem or the victim in it, it's going to be hard to disassociate from the issue and look at it holistically. That's why you need the presence of someone that's not even caught up in it to take a look at it from an outwards looking inside perspective, just like the events within this case as a whole. Justin says, why did you share Alicia's Dropbox, George? Because you are a POS snake. So POS, I think, means piece of sheet. So we're getting through a lot of abbreviations today. This is like the Warlight Ref ABC Learning Club. I don't know what else we'll learn, but let's continue. George, you're a liar. Some of your family have big mouths. You still have not answered whether you believe Alicia/Caden's story. It's simple. Stop being a slithering snake, yes or no. Go ask Alicia how she shared with Jamie Coney death pictures fetish. Yeah, Justin, go ask Alicia. What? Who's Jamie Coney? Is that to do with the case of Noah Presgrove or something completely different? I've no clue what's going on here, right? If anyone wants to provide context, feel free to do so. But for George to say some of Justin's family have big mouths, I wouldn't know because I don't know who's who, such as online. Go ask Alicia why she shared the videos with you and Jamie, Justin, and ask why Shannon begged to not be revealed. Your gig's up. Go have 4 or 5 more beers and then coherently respond. Right. In the eyes of George Choden or other people that don't agree with Justin or don't agree with Alicia, and they have their supposed reasons, like what we see here, is it the mindset that these people believe that Justin or Alicia and others are in on Noah's death? Not that I think that, but you get what I'm saying, where you get people calling others out as liars for covering it up, for lying, deceiving, doing this in the background, being sneaky, trying to be innocent on the public level, but down below, all very guilty. But guilty of what exactly? And what lies? And at the end of it, what does it actually ultimately lead to? What? That they're responsible for Noah's death? Or more so, that they're not responsible for Noah's death, but they really want to try and get someone else in trouble just because there's a conflict of interest and there's a dislike, a hatred towards someone who's kind of tied up within the case. How does it come around? What is the end goal exactly? Right? Can people work that out? What else do you have? Yes or no? Not an or deflection. Do you still believe Caden and Alicia's story? You have not answered. George says, you still haven't answered the question you've been asked repeatedly. Do you still believe Caden and Alicia's story? Yes or no? Not many keystrokes involved in a response. Man up. What's your problem? You're stuck. In case you didn't know, OHP is fully aware of what Alicia did, so just answer yes or no. Oh boy. We got Annoyed Mama here, says, why does it matter if he believes them? Wow. Justin responds, you have not answered. Why did you share Alicia's Dropbox when she trusted it with you? Why would you do that? It's very back and forth. This, to a very small extent, reminds me of the Dove Hunt conversations, where Justin was asking some guy questions in regards to, did he attend the Dove Hunt? Does he know who attended the Dove Hunt? Is it relevant to the party? And you just weren't getting anywhere. There was a breakdown in communication, and it didn't get any better from there on. The same will happen here, to be honest. Look at you, George. You are literally a miserable, dirty old man, as Justin says. I can't believe I wasted my time with your manipulative, vile behaviour. George, do you really think BBC is going to talk to you after this? You literally have shown your true colours. You are nothing but a miserable snake. Sadly, you slithered your way and gained trust in several people's inboxes. But I've heard a lot of people didn't trust you and smartly blocked you right away like I should have done. Keep taking out DMs out of context, but remember, I have the other half of those messages. So since your opinion has clearly changed from murder like you thought for several months, what do you think happened to Noah? Please enlighten us. What I do want to say is, in fairness, and I hope Brooke Bounds Carter is watching somewhere, maybe. Yeah, Brooke Bounds Carter watching from Greece all over again, man. Never even left. No. But the reality is, if supposedly George Choden has got screenshots of conversations or posts or photos without the full context to suit a certain narrative, to cut and trim certain text down so it makes one particular person look nasty or aggressive, and it excludes what someone had said earlier in a comment thread, yeah, it's missing the context, it's not right. If it's true, what Justin says here in response to George, but equally, in fairness, there have been other people within this casing community where they've shown a certain screenshot, such as with Brooke Bounds Carter and her, you know, how you would interpret it as a threatening response, because it did come across that way. However, it did not show what the entire comment thread was. Yes, you could argue and say, well, it still doesn't warrant a threatening message like that, but it would still have been nice to see the context behind it and before. What caused someone to say this? What was originally said to begin with? And that is what's lacking in this case at times. It's unfortunate. Moving on. Wait, are you insinuating that Alicia caused Noah's death? Right, so there we go. That's kind of like what I was questioning earlier on. Those that believe someone is a liar or is caught up within the case and lies and the deceiving and the dark. Oh, is that because you feel that they are caught up in the death or caught up in something less than that? And now Justin is questioning it too. You do realise that would be murder, right? Like I have been saying this whole time. Yet you literally have attacked me all over the pages for saying Noah was murdered. Yet look at you, you're insinuating Alicia and Caden Presley had something to do with his death. So obviously your dumbass even thinks Noah was murdered. This is how narcissist and vile you are. You have problems, George. Need help. Yes, I believe Caden Presley's timeline of 5:15 a.m. There we go. Finally got an answer. But you can see how it could be dragged out, these conversations, and that's across all boards. That girl, information is out there. Maybe you could focus and find out if you take your blinds off. Oh, do people wear curtains? You are so stuck in a tunnel vision that you believe it's a vicious murder. Speaking of tell the truth, have all of your nephews and family members gone to talk to local law enforcement or OHP yet? Of course, I'm talking about your family members that attended the party. Who knows? I don't know. If it's been kept private and it's been done in the background, there we go. But, you know, you got other party goers, the party girls, the party girl, and then the friends, and the sister, Carter, Avery, and then Logan, then Jasmine, cooperating with police in the background, privately, but not on the surface level publicly. So if that happens there, that should be respected to an extent. And then if the same's happened with Justin's family in the background too, then that should be respected to an extent. The real people that reached out online for some kind of reaction and some kind of help would be the Presgrove family, starting up the odd Facebook page, wanting to spread awareness, a voice, the odd interview. You can understand it from there. As for all other party goers or family of family, somewhat tied within this case, if they kept a low profile in the first place as for online and they didn't reach out or ask for much in the first place and have kept it private, then to an extent, it should be understood. Maybe if you start going less private and more vocal online, then you want to back away all of a sudden, change them. But interesting discussions there. One day, excellent video, appreciate that. Safia, agreed, great video, topics discussed, appreciate that. Shout out to those individuals. The other Dudden, awesome video, y'all. That's good to know. You're welcome. Yeah. Renee, love you, friend. We should make a plan to visit and talk about the good old days. That would be fun. Is that before or after basketball practice? Robbie Taylor, Great video. Appreciate that. What is the best way to contact you that isn't TikTok? Yes, I would like to get a hold of you also. I don't have Twitter, Instagram, nor Snapchat. That's unfortunate. Do you have TikTok? That's the other way. All links are available on my channel page, as a heads up. Beth Rose. Brooke only states that timestamps don't matter only because she can't provide proof of her claims. As Safia says, she's lying about everything after the shower, including the white shorts, and insists on people producing receipts. Make sure she produces receipts she has. When she doesn't have receipts, she says receipts don't matter. What a load of crap. Is that Sam? We'll have to see more into that. Let me just see if I can add on anything else. Everything after the shower, including the white shorts. So everything after the shower, but before the shorts, I guess would be the supposed, teabagging, which Noah did with people that were asleep on the couch, sofa, the chairs, which would be the guys. Including Caden Pressey, Mikey, Brylan, Isaac, comes across like that. And then supposedly Noah then being fed by, was it Carter or so? Fed ramen noodles and yogurt. Right. Seems like there's a level of concern and care. Carter looking out for Noah. Well, that's what friends do. Well, yeah, I guess. What about Jack Newton, though? Best friend. Oh, he was just asleep, wasn't he? Maybe, maybe not. Right? But if it's true that there was a point where Carter said, I don't really know who Noah is. You don't really know who Noah is, but you'll look after him more than maybe other party goers. Is there a level of favoritism, a level of popularity? I don't know if people will get a bit bitchy or moany about that towards me, but you got to raise these questions. We got, is that Elijah? Welcome. Tammy, talking about what Jack said about the shoes, Donna Bond said Noah didn't have any shoes on in the video that she has seen. Yes, I remember hearing that. And supposedly, Donna was stalked, or someone came round to her house to try and steal her phone because that's where the video was on, supposedly. Why did and how did Donna Bond get a hold of the video itself? And did anyone else experience that? How did she get access by that user? I'm not sure. I just remember her saying that Noah didn't have anything on in the video she saw. I suggest go ask that question to Donna. She's pretty upfront and will tell you. So does that girl know the answer already then? Let's see. George, there is absolutely nothing on that video other than it showing Noah deceased at the scene, period. To be honest, whether there's anything shown in the video or not, the fact that there is a video of Noah's body is pretty important enough itself. The real context is, or the real question is, who recorded it and why? Was it by police, done officially? But then why would Donna get a hold of it then? Justin. And how do you know this, George? Did you see it, or is it hearsay? Oh no, that's going to be a recurring theme in this case, isn't it? With that one word. Skippy. Did you see the video? And if so, what did it show? Who filmed it? Did it have a timestamp? This is why I made a post on this thread asking people to provide a synopsis of videos they've seen. It doesn't appear Choban is your real name, so what do you have to lose by posting what you saw on that video? Yeah, maybe not. Beth, Brooke only states that timestamps don't matter only because she can't provide proof of her claims. So the times of when she does get a hold of a timestamp, and supposedly she can prove it, she can say it does matter. Is that right? I don't know. I tried sending you a link. It's not going through. Right. So Beth Rose, if that's in regards to a particular video, the whipped cream, I have seen it and I have documented it on my channel and I have done an analysis of it. Okay? Possibilities as to why one could not send it is because Instagram has a file size and even a video length limit, unfortunately. And that can apply to other services as well. It can apply with emails. It's dodgy. It's annoying. What else? This is the strangest case, honestly. Very tragic and heartbreaking. What in God's name happened to Noah? Do we know any more than over a year ago? No. I mean, I've not been around for that long, but I've learned more with time. Maybe if I was present earlier on, and if I did see those extra videos that were posted online before they were taken down, supposedly, maybe we'd have an even better idea with my outlook. Skippy says, all we know is that there are a lot of toxic relationships in that area now. Maybe the toxicity was already there, but Noah's killing has rooted it out more. Sad since many are intertwined via jobs, family, and mutual friends. Killing might be a very inappropriate word. OHP would tend to disagree with you, as would say other LE agencies following the case. Killing isn't the correct word. So could that imply that if a hit and run did occur, it wouldn't be a killing because it wasn't intentional, but the possible act of driving on was intentional? Would that be foul play? Because surely, even if you didn't see, would you feel, would you hear the sound of it making contact, your vehicle, with the individual? Somehow you weren't looking ahead, you were looking down, looking to your side, and suddenly, boom, like that. Would you think of much? Would you care much? Would you stop? Maybe it depends what vehicle you're in. Possibly if you're in just a car, you could hit the person. They could hit the window screen, roll over. It could even create a dent in the window. Who knows? If you're in a truck, though, might not be as known. If drivers out there caught in a hit and run like that, if it's dark and if they can't quite see, somehow they could just play it off as, oh, it's just an animal, just a normal thing, maybe for some. Same like attitude with Tyler H, not Hardy, but the other Tyler, I believe. If I'm correct, made a reference to a deer or an animal. And to be honest, it would be fair for someone to believe that, because it would be hard to believe that you've got an actual human walking down or present along that highway somehow, by some chance. Most of the time, you might, not that it happens all the time, but if there is contact made with a living organism, it's probably going to be an animal, maybe crossing the road or nearby. But an actual human doesn't sound like it would happen as much, that, especially in a rural area. But, you know, comes down to perspective. Oh, here we go. Justin, not at all, little boy George. Someone caused Noah's death at some point. That's a homicide. He did not cause all those injuries himself. There's already foul play involved. Guess they're probably just trying to see what fits with the lesser charges. Brooke Bounds Carter says, your story on Noah's death changes so often it's so hard to keep up. So now it's not premeditated murder. And Justin says, depends who all was really there or not. But yes, I do think it was murder. But y'all have insinuated that Alicia had something to do with the death. If she did, would that not be murder? And honestly, I think you know exactly what happened to Noah. Why don't you just tell us? Was it an accident or a murder you seem to know? You are looking for any and every way for whomever did this to get out of charges, and you know it. And either way, accident, which I don't believe, or murder, both have consequences, and felony charges just for the actions, and lying involved for over a year now. So why don't you just tell us the truth about Noah and get it over with? And Brooke says, you can try so hard to make us out to be the bad people, but regardless how hard you push it, we aren't. No one I know had anything to do with Noah's death, regardless of the absolute nonsense you spew. How do you sleep at night lying so much on things? I can't wait to see karma bite back on you. It might not be you, but bite your kids. Ooh. Depending who reads that, whether it be Justin, will they take that as a threat? Remember that. Alicia involved herself for no reason. She makes herself look guilty. How about you go back to that Bible and reread it? Let me know if you need help understanding it, because clearly you do not. But the reference to why would it end up leading to karma biting back on Justin's kids? Which kids? His kids or family of family that are regarded as kids that attended the party. You can see it's getting personal back to back. Justin says, I'm glad you think this is funny. And you and George have been working real hard to cover everything up and fit your narrative. My opinion on premeditation comes with who was really there and who went out there at 3 a.m. But yes, I do believe Noah was murdered, and that my opinion, why do you and George keep blaming Alicia and Kate and Pressy? I mean, if they are involved, wouldn't that be murder? So by you implying them all the time, you two think Noah was murdered, right? You're just putting the blame away from the real people or person. Why? Because you and George are part of a cover-up crew. And Brooke, I really believe you know exactly what happened to Noah, so why don't you just tell us the truth and get it over with, instead of you're looking for a way out and lesser charges for those involved, and that's sickening. You're the one that needs help. You and your little boy George, you both are sick, vile narcissists that fit well together. Brood of vipers, both of you. Noah deserves better and the truth. Brooke says, boy, you really must be mentally ill. No one is trying hard to cover anything up. That's you once again spewing lies, as always. I know for a fact the kids I defend are innocent. Guess what? LE do too. Honestly, you have the text from Zach, the OHP officer, basically telling you they are too. Yet once again, you refuse to believe it because you think you're smarter than LE. I really hope karma hits you where it hurts the most. Betting it will unfortunately hurt your kids too. Does that mean as in karma catches up supposedly on Justin, Justin gets taken away or arrested, and then the kids have no father? Now, I know that's getting very deep, but I'm just trying to understand what Brooke is getting at here. She says, I really hope they throw you in jail over this. Right, so yeah, it's pretty much being worded that way. I promise I'm going to do everything in my power to have you charged. You just make it clearer every day. You're doing this intentionally to hurt these innocent kids. Copy with a police emoji. So Brooke Bounds Carter wants Justin Roy arrested. Brooke to Skippy, curious. I know it wasn't a vicious murder, but say he fell asleep in the back of a truck and he woke up, not all there from being drunk and not realising fully what was going on and fell out. Who's to blame on this? Who's to be charged? Okay. So now Brooke is giving an alternative possibility to what could have happened to Noah, which doesn't get any closer to solving the case, but it's always good to look at alternatives, even if it's from people you might not agree with or look up to. Justin says to Brooke, how do you know? How do you know it wasn't a murder? You would love for that to happen, wouldn't you? No way all his injuries happened from him just falling out of the back of a truck. That's silly to even say. So what you got to do is ask yourself, look at the people that believe it's a hit and run, and look at the same people that may add on, as in maybe it wasn't a hit and run and more so falling out of a vehicle. Well, then that would imply that the individuals that go from one to another aren't that confident themselves in the be-all and end-all outcome. There's still a level of instability. Skippy. So Jody is all sugary with kudos about the video metadata post. I agree, it sounds like a reasonable post. Wait, who's Jody? Oh yeah, that Jody. Oh my God. You know, was it Jody? Jose? Oh goodness. Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking of something else. Anyway, let's return back to Skippy. But earlier showed her ignorance by accusing Justin of bribing Warlight Rath with $20, with absolutely no basis for such an accusation. Exactly. She doesn't like Justin, we get it. But how in the world does she make the $20 bribe leap? I know. And to give such a precise number as well. So random, isn't it? Robbie. There is a long history with some of us on Facebook and Justin. Justin likes to ban people from the army page if you challenge him or have a different belief regarding the case and tell others you are fake, so other mods ban you as well. Justin isn't some innocent flower. The post wasn't meant to be serious. So Just as a heads up, Robbie, so you get a little bit of better understanding, because I might have mentioned it already, but I'll try and summarise it as best as I can. I have been kicked or blocked from the Army page once and from the case discussion page once. But supposedly, both times, it was down to a misunderstanding of accounts or something. Either way, I don't post on Facebook myself. I do what I do on YouTube. I keep to myself to try and reduce the issues. Maybe, just maybe, on certain pages or even on the Justice one, if I gave some unpopular opinions, there might be a small chance I could have been kicked like how other people have. But still, when I engage on Reddit, I've not been kicked there for the direct reasons of giving an alternative opinion or an unpopular one. It's been more so through a misunderstanding or petty behaviour by some petty peasants that have been whining till the cows come home to get what they want, but then it's been resolved afterwards to an extent. At the end of the day, for someone like me who could be considered screwed over at times, it had been resolved for most part of it. Other people, though, that may have been removed from pages, they weren't reinstated. But it depends if there was a follow-up or action. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's a level of biasness, but unfortunately, the reality is because of who I am, and not for that to sound like narcissistic, but because I am a YouTuber with a following, awareness can be spread. It can help the case. So some people psychologically, subconsciously speaking, may be more likely and more lenient towards me over a random member of the general public that can't provide that much to a case. Does that make sense? It might sound unfair, but that's just how it can be. But equally on the food chain, if there was a bigger, greater channel than me with a bigger subscriber count, they would be top of the list. I'd be lower down. Things may not work out the same way. Skippy. I figured there was spillage from bad Facebook relationships into Raf's domain, but it's just sad that they drag Raf into it. Maybe they need to add just kidding next time. Robbie, I can see that how that would be a good idea. She definitely crossed a line by insulting Warlight Raf in the mix of her jab at Justin. Yeah, either way you look at it, she had no basis to make that false accusation. But in all fairness, we have come across other people that have attacked me on Facebook and, you know, they just slipped away. That girl. It was a joke because Justin always claims Brooke is paying people money. I don't think she meant anything bad about Raf. That's the case, all kind people would be hurt because Justin literally claims Brooke is paying everyone. Well, Brooke isn't paying me. Brooke isn't even giving me any false eyelashes, man. Very disappointed. No hair extension either to fit on the bald patch on the right side of my head. Yeah, better look next time. But no, it could be a joke, yes, what that girl says. But at the end of the day, at the cost of bringing my name into it, at the cost of damaging my credibility, after spending from 2013 to 2024 to get where I'm at the cost of a joke that could ruin things, I don't think that's fair on me. And furthermore, the long-term effects it can have on credibility and covering other cases. It can follow you. False claims, false labels, I've been through it before. It's not good. If language and appropriate wording is mentioned, such as just kidding, fine, fair enough. Or if my name's left out and it's a joke or it's serious, then okay. But, you know, when I've got to defend myself, I'll defend myself. And that's what I had to do. George, he did complain that he had paid Ace some funds. Ace being the one Kathy Bingham also bitched about, saying that he had been working with Kathy Bingham. But she claimed that it was Brylan Sweat, you know, he's into video, creating video content, editing videos, audio, etc. So who knows, fake videos being talked about. Seems Kathy doesn't trust a effing thing coming out of Justin's mouth, and Justin doesn't trust an effing thing coming out of Kathy's mouth. But there you go, two local village gossip drama queens ducking it out. What I will say is, As for Ace, this came about during a trend when you had Kaylee, you had Ace, individuals, and people on Facebook really going on and focusing in on the Brylan Sweat slapping Noah footage filmed by Caden Pressey at 1:05 a.m. Monday morning, September the 4th, 2023, which showed Isaac Rojas in the background talking to Avery Combs and the way Isaac was holding that gun, and mentioned something about kill you, and eye contact made with Noah Presgrove, and then Brylan saying something about stab you, holding a knife as well. There was a lot going on. I still need to do a breakdown of that clip, and I'll try and get to it sometime. Okay? So there's that to take into account. Justin says to George, and once again, little boy George being a liar. Yes, I paid Ace a music video for Noah's grandma and he made a picture for me. It just took a while for him to finish it. But this is what you do. Take everything out of context and manipulate it. George, you are a miserable POS. Now, there have been other people in the community that have called out this individual called Ace in the past. Right? Other people that have been skeptical and said that they're dodgy. Who knows what's going on? Brooke. Exactly. That's exactly how I took her comment. Our deep pockets pay so many people off. He is beyond stupid. Justin says, of course you flip everything like y'all always do. Trash. Emoji. And Brooke says, laughing my ass off. Sure. That's always your go-to when you have nothing else. Copy. See, to be honest, the amount of times people laugh their ass off, I think some people might need surgery by now. Let's move on. We've got Glenn, big shout out to Glenn, very consistent and a good profile picture as well of a ship and a moon in the background. You're like Christy with her moon profile picture. John, no birthday cake exchanged, gifts, never thought about that. Yeah, okay, so he's acknowledging it, fair enough. Pictures, once you see them, you recognise them, what, forever? Because they're memorable? Yeah, to an extent, I agree. Watching now, hopefully you enjoyed that, Rebecca Bailey. Good name. Renee, informative, makes you go, that's good to know. Safia. So, I've got a question for Brooke. How is it that you answered me in the chat when I had you blocked? I'll keep you unblocked so I can see your answer. I already know how about to go and tell me. Okay, let's see. Oh, here we go. Brooke, I think it's pretty shitty to act like you're talking to me when I can't see what you're saying because you were blocked by me for a couple of months and now look at you when confronted. Crickets. Can I do the cricket sound at the moment? My throat's a little bit dry because of all the talking. I can't get the purr in the It's exactly what I expected. Brooke says, try again. My comment must have been deleted. I said it's magic. The kiss. Don't be a coward. Just as a heads up for people, if comments are supposedly deleted, they're not by me, it's by YouTube. They auto-delete randomly. It's happened to myself. Other times, comments may not show, and you may think they're deleted. Go to the filter option, select latest or newest comments, and then more will show, even within the threads. Victor. Sadly, one or more adults are lying about this case, and that's very sad. Do I know who's telling the truth? Not at all. I don't have a clue. I believe Ellie probably said, screw this case until someone comes forward to tell them how Noah died. Someone knows that Criminals Hate Me guy has been posting a lot lately on Noah. Oh, goodness, what a shame. Brooke, why do you believe adults are lying? Justin says, because you just claimed you know it wasn't a murder. How do you know that? Also, if you don't think it was a murder, why do you and little boy George keep insinuating that Alicia had something to do with Noah's death? I mean, wouldn't that be murder, dumbass? Talk about deflection and manipulation, but that's exactly what y'all have been doing this whole time, and I'm so sick of it. Why don't you just tell us the truth and get it over with? I know you know exactly what happened to Noah. Stop with the cover-up and lies. Bring in the new year with truth and clear coincidences so we can all move forwards. Snapchats can be altered. Oh, yes, they can. There's ways you can set a post to appear the next day. You can alter times and date stamps on videos stored in your device. A lot can be altered and covered up. The possibilities are there. Is is the application present there? Julie Beck, welcome. Says, great video, Raf. I had to go back and watch due to getting catch up in the comments and live premiere. Interesting. I appreciate that. It's good. Savia, the chat was really good yesterday. I'm going over Raf's video again for anything I may have missed. That's good to know. So overall, there seems to be positive feedback from the raw videos that I've done. I know it was a bit different today, but I need to look at the comments to catch up so I can actually look at it. But I've got some additional points to add on at the end. We've got Sunny. Yep, I don't think 40-something people at the party either, but who knows? I wasn't there. And as always, excellent video. Appreciate that. Justin says, oh, wait, do we actually have some responses? Yes, timestamps on Snapchat can be manipulated. Here are some ways it can be done. Changing your device's clock. By adjusting the date and time on your device, you can manipulate the timestamp on your Snapchat snaps and chats. Right, so it's the equivalent as in if you've got an Xbox or a PlayStation 5, you change your time zone setting to Australia or New Zealand 12 hours ahead, meaning when a brand new video game comes out on early release, if you set the clocks like forward, you're going to get to play the game sooner than other people that are in a different time zone. Right, manipulating it. Number 2, using third-party apps. There are various third-party apps available that allow you to edit or fake Snapchat timestamps. Is that so? Number 3, Snapchat's built-in features. Snapchat has features like Snapchat memories that allow you to share old snaps with a timestamp from the past. Please note that manipulating timestamps might violate Snapchat's terms of service. Straight off their website. I mean, if it is a cover-up like a lot of people believe there was a cover-up, why wouldn't a certain group manipulate a Snapchat timestamp? And as you can see, it's very possible to do so. Response-wise. Do tell how they manipulated Snapchat when those are the exact snaps given to LE. You're an incredibly sad human. You need help and truly need to get right with the Lord. You're two totally different humans on Facebook. Justin says, I'm just showing how a Snapchat could be manipulated, and it's weird that this Snapchat somehow all of a sudden just came out. Why not bring it out in the beginning? Yeah. Just like your claim of Noah in white shorts, at least show Noah's family. You and George are the only ones playing games here. Just tell the truth already. As we have said 500 times, the kids got their phones back. That's why we have them now. But by all means, keep up those lies, copy. Right. So because the kids have got their phones back, what does that actually mean then? Okay. Right, I'm a little bit slow. Brooke is basically saying the reason why that Snapchat post, such as with Mikey Lair and the girls at 5:27 at the party house when Kane and Pressy was claiming to be at the highway with the likes of Mikey, there's a disconnect there. And some months ago, it was posted online as for the Snapchat timestamp, not the actual photo though, which is unfortunate. But still, the reason why it was done at a later time is because Brooke is saying that the kids and whoever else got their phones back from the police at a later point. So during the time of when the phones were absent at the grasp of their own phones, they couldn't post it, they couldn't share it. What was important, what could have been used to prove a point or counter Kane and Pressy couldn't have been done at that time because the phones weren't in their possession. But as soon as they were given back, that's when the post was made online. Well, that's fair enough, what Brooke says there. If it's true, the timing of when phones were returned back, it would explain why some things were posted at a later point. And there must have been a thumbs up as well from police to say, yes, you can post this or that. Couldn't have been that important then. Sherry, he knows more than Ellie knows. It's really pathetic and rather embarrassing. It's not a good look by any means. And Brooke says, yes, ma'am, I agree. Really am embarrassed. Robbie says, Justin, you should revisit the post at the start of Warlight Raf's video. You're not sharing anything new. We're all aware that snaps can be manipulated. The real issue lies in the other data that would need to be altered across multiple phones to deceive a forensic data expert. To truly hide a change, you'd need to edit every place the photo is saved on the phone, in backups, and on any synced devices. Phones keep records of when files are created, edited, or accessed. These logs may not align with altered timestamps. Additionally, services like Google Photos or iCloud often back up original versions of the photos. Well, it just so happens that my photos are not backed up. Okay? So there is alternatives there. Preserving the true timestamps and other unaltered metadata. Even if someone attempts to change metadata across all instances, inconsistencies can still be detected in the file sequencing, the device's logs, or the environmental conditions depicted in the photo. Okay. We got Popsky with a robot. Oh no, Popsky, you turn into the Terminator. You lock on me, you understand what I'm trying to say. Moving on. We've got no Arnold present there, that other viewer. One day at a time. At the time of Caden's second interview with LE, the 2024 June one, they had not yet talked to everyone that attended the party. LE stated something about it taking time because of being given nicknames rather than legal names. Oh, really? I wonder why. Safia. They're not kids. And for sure, they're technically skilled enough to do that. Oh, Safia using the Warlight Wrath hashtag. Way, there we go. Get that started. I didn't even know it existed. Well, it does now. But yeah, the reference to their kids. I can understand why some would refer to them as kids, especially if it's people that are closer to those partygoers, as in close friends or deeply connected via family. You might have certain nicknames how you'd refer to someone, right? If you're a stranger, it will be, you are a child, or you are a teenager, or you are a young adult, you are a more developed adult, you are an old bastard. You know, not quite like that, but you get what I'm saying. But if you're closer to someone, you might have a different reference to them in a little bit more lenient way, even like when you regards to someone's age. Robbie says, I've seen some people wonder how someone they've blocked can still see their comments in live chat or comment section. The answer is simple. Open an incognito window, go to Warlight Wrath's live premiere, and then open the same live stream in your regular YouTube window, presto. You can see all the cowards who blocked you and then talk about you in chat. Maybe someone can pass this tip along to Safia and others. Oh no, Robbie. You know, open up Hell's Gate. Everyone else is going to fucking lose it. Right. That appears to be at the comments. Let me add on with my thoughts right now. Hopefully people have found the video somewhat interesting up to now. Also, relaying these comments so I can analyse further. But furthermore, with importance equally, you get to see it too, because not everybody looks back at the comments of my past video. So you'll be more up to date with what's going on now. The patterns are with George, Justin, Alicia, but Alicia's not present to speak, at least for that video, what we looked at the time. And Brooke Bounds Carter, and back and forth, and then other users as well sharing their thoughts and opinions. But if we was to just narrow it down and focus in on the Snapchat situation with the 5:27 a.m. timestamp, which supposedly shows Mikey Lair with girls at the party house, whilst at that time Caden Pressey, Brylan and Isaac are at the highway, it wouldn't make sense because Caden said Mikey was with them. Why would Mikey be at the house? Why would Caden lie about that? Doesn't quite add up. But furthermore, if those who are in that Snapchat photo are smiling, and yet that's the time of already hearing about Noah's death, it wouldn't make any sense itself, would it? So all in all, it would make Caden's timeline look incorrect, and possibly Jack's timeline more correct, as an example. But other people would say, well, it's been done like that on purpose in order to derail Caden's timeline and question him and discredit him in that way. That if there are opportunities and ways to manipulate timestamps of a Snapchat post and done somewhat effectively well, people would utilize it to the best of their ability in order to throw others off the scent and derail others. And whilst, from what we've seen, and common sense as well, and even my own experience elsewhere, yes, it seems quite likely it's possible to manipulate timestamps of photos. But how likely is it within this particular case, and with what material exactly? Furthermore, it's okay saying that there are ways to manipulate timestamps and that it's likely that it happened here, but do we actually have any hard evidence or proof? Visual proof, a recording, a secret covert camera set up which shows or depicts a party goer adjusting the timestamp of a particular photo or video post on Snapchat, with someone stood behind a party goer witnessing a phone being factory reset. At the end of the day, there are actions that can take place in life, and it's very possible to happen, but how possible in a particular situation? You'd ultimately need evidence, and if you don't have evidence, it does fall a bit short. So people can say it's very likely that this or that happened, but if you don't have evidence, we don't have those solid foundations, and that's what the issue is. Ultimately, you would need someone or some camera to record another person manually adjusting their phone, looking at the phone. You're literally like spying on someone. Would people be thinking the need to do that at the time of the party? Well, arguably someone felt the need to do so when it came to Avery Carter arguing on the front porchway. Why would anyone think it's worth recording that but not recording previous arguments beforehand? It does make you think. And we're not going to know. Even with the party footage that we do have, and there's others, remnants, missing, spread out further afar, and other clips hidden away or deleted, maybe. Do we actually know the timestamps of every clip? No. Great. Do we actually know who's behind the camera in every shot? No, not exactly. Great. There are still so many unanswered questions, but not enough cooperation. If this was questioned and looked into at the very start by the right person or the right people, just asking and trying to make sense of it, if it was done earlier on, it would have been more manageable. But because it's a year or months on from when others joined in, there's a lot more to sort through, and it's too overwhelming by then. Look, the Dylan Rounds case, it was one of the first true crime ones which I got involved in, but also I was like 1 or 2 months late to the case, which, to be honest, isn't that bad. So I was able to catch up fairly quick and then follow it on a day-to-day basis and make sense of it as we went along. If I joined late, it would be so much harder to try and figure it out. Just like Idaho 4, I joined that late. So you can apply that here with the Noah Presgrove one, joining the case late, unfortunately. But is there anything else to highlight? Well, new year, a new outlook or a new outcome, new progress, doesn't look like it. As for the family, doing whatever they can. On the surface level, if I was to compare to the Dylan Rounds case, just as an observation, everybody acts differently and reacts differently, but very quiet. This case, a lot more quiet than the Dylan Rounds one. So I think arguably speaking, and not in a negative way, but I think the Dylan Rounds case was a little bit more popular than the Noah Presgrove case. But then in fairness, it depends when you joined. And if I joined later here compared to where I joined in the Dylan Rounds one, it's not exactly a fair comparison, is it? But credit to everyone that has stuck around and still continues to watch, and even those that watch in the background. I only continue on because I'm interested in the case and there are still ideas to cover, okay? There'll be other cases out there which may be hotter, more popular, but I'm not going to jump ship just like that. I might experiment from time to time just to see how things work out, you know? But if there's a particular case that I'm covering and I feel comfortable covering it and I'm getting an idea with time, I'll do what I can. There are still some video ideas that I can do on the sideline. This was, Kevin, an unexpected pop-up idea because I was a little bit distracted in terms of being able to do a more hands-on approach today. I thought, do a bit of a longer video like this, more discussion-based, where people find the video itself, the content's interesting, it does allow people to get together. Just like Christmas, when I did that pre-recorded video actually days before. This time I'm doing it on the day of New Year's Eve. Bloody hell. But if anyone needs the video as a distraction or the live premiere on the day or on a particular day, then you can watch this or use the live chat or see the fireworks if there is any. Who knows? But obviously, you see the personal side and the conflict there. Bit messy, isn't it? I mean, it is what it is then. We'll see what happens next. Thanks for watching. Feel free to hit the like button and share the video so more people get to see it. It'll spread more awareness of the case and keep it alive. My name's Warlike Raf. I'll see you in the new year. Goodbye. Good night for now.